Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to do my second last swatch off video for this whole series that's been going on for nearly 2 years. So if you're new here, I spent a year and a half going through the majority of my lip collection. I tried everything that I could find and I reviewed it all on camera in like monthly chunks, and I told you which ones am I keeping, which ones I'm decluttering because I don't like, and I decluttered over 200 lipsticks in that 18 months, which, well done me. But I thought, look, I was sort of categorizing things by brands or sort of drugstore or luxury. I had little like categories that I was sort of reviewing each month, and I never got around to comparing shade by shade. So that's what this series is now doing. It's like a second declutter where I'm swatching all the similar shades and I'm deciding, do I need 3 of the same berry reds? Do I? I don't know. We'll see. So that's what this is. It's the 4th video in this series. The first one was lip glosses and sort of glossy nude colors. The second one was colorful lipsticks. The third was more bold nude lipsticks. And this one is reds. Now, I love reds. I love reds. I am currently filming this on a Saturday and I'm wearing a red lip because I love reds. And I'm also filming this video, but I love reds. So this is quite a large swatch video, but it needed to be done and we're finally getting it done. So if you want to see my red lip collection swatched, keep watching. I will have all the names of the products listed in the description box. So if you missed any names or anything, it's all there. And then in a couple of weeks, hopefully I'll have the last video of this series up, which will be swatching lip stains. Now, I don't have too many, so it'll be a very quick swatch video, but I will recap how many products I've gotten rid of in this sort of almost 2-year-long process. So let's get swatching. All right, we've got a lot of swatching ahead of us. There's going to be a stained arm for days and chapped lips for days, but it is what it is. We've got to get through these. Now, I have loosely categorized these. There might be some overlap. There might be some blurred lines. If I have completely wrongly categorized something, I will try to re-swatch it against things that are similar to it. But when I was going through this and doing some quick hand swatches the other day, this is sort of how I thought was best to categorize these reds. Firstly, here I've got sort of pinky toned reds. These are what you'd call cooler toned reds. And a good example is like NARS. I think this is Dragon Girl. Yeah, so when you do swatch it, so I'll just give you a good example of like the categories. It actually looks like almost like a strawberry pink, but it is technically a red. A lot of these just have more of a cooler sort of pink tone to them. Over here is my most commonly used category, which is an orange toned red, so a warmer toned red. A perfect example is Lady Danger by MAC. This is a classic and you can see that it is a lot more orange compared to what I have on my hand there. So you got more pink, you got more orange. And this is my biggest category because it's my most used color. I love orange tones. Orange tones really suit me. I even have Morange in here, which is actually technically an orange. I should have included that in my color video, but it's going to be here. It is what it is. Over here I have more what I'd call true reds. These are more, probably slightly deeper than this category and this category sometimes, but this is more of your like, yeah, traditional lipstick red. And a good example is this one from Uemura. This was a limited edition one. So compared to the other two, this looks more true red, this looks more orange, this looks more pink. So that's that sort of category. The last category is actually like berry tone. So these are much darker reds. I don't think I really need to explain these too much. You can tell that they're a lot deeper, like wine toned, berry toned. So these are the darker shades of red. All right, this is a lineup of orange toned reds. I thought we would get through these first since they're my one true love. And yeah, I'm curious to see them all swatched side by side. Also, the pinky tone ones tend to stain more, so I'm trying to get through oranges first. Look, I've got a lot of MAC here. This is all MAC. There's a bit of NARS, Uemura, Hourglass, and then it gets into some randoms like Bite, Paprika. This is a Bourjois, Colourpop, Anastasia Beverly Hills, blah, 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 blah. We'll get onto it. I won't say the name, the full name and shade of everything I swatch, but I will have them listed in the description box. So in order of swatching, if you want to know what MAC lipsticks these are, I will have them listed and everything else in this video. All right, we're going to start with this half. I'll start with MAC. This is Lady Danger. This shade is an absolute classic when it comes to orange tone red, so I thought this is a really good place to start. Beautiful. I love this lipstick. As soon as I use it up, I'm going to buy another one. I will also change the camera angle. So if we're getting some glare or some shadows, I will show you all the things swatched after I swatch them. This is Morange. So this is a lot more orange than red. I wouldn't classify this a red, even though I somehow put this in this video. I skipped it in the color one. So I thought I will, you know, talk about it now. Now, when I did review this in my series, I said I love this color. I don't love this amplified formula. I feel like it just sort of wears off a lot on me pretty quickly. So I kept this to find a dupe. Now, I haven't found a dupe for it, so I've still kept it. But you hopefully can see one is a lot more electric orange, one is more red. Now, this one's a matte formula. I love matte formulas. And this one, look, I'll have the name in the description box, but I believe it's pronounced Chaud. But it is more of, oh, it's so nice. Similar, but they also look so different. This one looks more burnt orange. This one looks more vibrant orange to me. I can pick nuances with these shades because I love them. This is a different formula. This is the Powder Kiss. It's in the shade Style Shocked. Looks very similar, but this is more of a sort of blotted matte. So instead of it being quite a thick creamy matte, it's got more of a silicone like light feel to it. So it does look and feel very different on the lips, despite it looking quite similar to some of these shades. This is a limited edition Rocky Horror Show lipstick. I'm not getting rid of it because I love the Rocky Horror Show, and I'm not getting rid of it. It is what it is. It's a bit darker. It's a little bit more brick coloured, but it is still an orangey red. Now we're changing up formulas. This is the Retro Matte. This is probably similar to Lady Danger, but just in a different formula. I love this formula. So this is called Quite the Standout. I might swatch it down here. It's just a little bit more punchy because it's a liquid, and obviously a different, oh, it's so nice though. But yeah, different formula. Love it. This one is the Powder Kiss liquid lip color. So this is again more of a blotted effect, and this one is a Year of a Tiger one, which is my year. It's this year. So yeah, I'm keeping this as well, but again, this is a lot more orange. This probably could have been in the burnt orange category that I had in my color video. Last MAC orange tone red. I've got a lot of MAC orange tone red. It is what it is. This is a new formula. This is the Powder Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick in Hot Paprika. This is more of a vibrant orangey shade, so probably similar to Morange, but not as neon orange. It's a little bit more corally colored. And I like it. I think it's really pretty. It wears really nicely. Gorgeous shade for a bit of a like, this is a fun sort of summer red. Going over to NARS, this is Red Square. So it is the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. Again, different formula, but very similar shade to Chaud, I think it's pronounced. But different formula. This is an Audacious lipstick, but it was a limited edition shade, and it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at the NARS logo on it. Just appreciate how beautiful it is. So yeah, probably limited edition. I'm probably not, oh, it is so, like, it's thin, but really pigmented. It is gorgeous. I'm going to wear this today. It's when I leave this video with my sore blistered lips, I'm putting that on because it looks the most ink-like, I would say, like stain-like out of all of these. Very, very thin, but super, super pigmented. It is gorgeous. These are dumb. I'm gonna have to talk about these in a second. I'm silly for these. These are different formulas but the same color. Do I need them? I don't know. But this kind of thing I use a lot, and this is a matte orange 550. So these are the Rouge Unlimited Supreme Matte. Now this is a lot more orange, so it's probably more similar to Morange up there. Let's have a swatcheroo. But this is so, like, it's got a powdery finish to it. Again, like a silicone-y finish. I love it, but it's more true orange than red, so it might be an okay dupe for that one. Still not quite a dupe. This is still a little bit more yellow toned, a little bit more orange. But this kind of formula I wear a lot, so you'll see a lot of these popping up because I really like them, the Supreme Matte. All right, so these are Uemura as well, but I've got a matte orange 570 and a amplified orange 570. Do I need them both? Probably not. Why do I have them both? Because I'm an idiot. I think I ordered one online and bought one in store and didn't realize the difference. Should I swatch it alongside that? Maybe that's something I should compare it to, because it's the same brand, same sort of formula with the matte. This one looks a little bit more red. That looks a little bit more orange, but I think these two can be compared, so I'll put those aside. hopefully you can tell by the bullet alone that this is a lot shinier. So the Amplified is sort of really pigmented, but it's a little bit more glossy. I'm going to swatch those side by side. Again, they've got a different finish. One's got a gloss, one's got a matte. But do I need the same colour in two different, slightly different finishes? Probably not. All right, then we've got some Hourglass. So this is the shade I Desire. It's my favourite Hourglass shade. So chances are I'm not going to get rid of this. Oh, it's gorgeous. It is so smooth and so pigmented. Very similar to this colour. Very similar to Lady Danger. Very similar to the liquid lipstick by MAC, but it's just a beautiful, really, really stunning, comfortable, but really pigmented formula. Love it. This one's called Loves All of You, and it's a little bit deeper, but this was from, what do you call it, a Valentine's Day collection. This has more of burnt orangey tone to it. I'd say this looks like a bit like a blood red. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And the last one's called I'll Forever, which is from a holiday collection. I'm going to see how it compares. It's a little bit more brownie toned than the one I just swatched below it, but look, they do look quite similar. This is more vibrant orange. This is more sort of muted brown, but they're all beautiful. The thing about these is I love all of them. These are lipsticks that I keep in rotation, or they're ones that are like collector's items that I've kept for a reason. These are the ones I have in my handbag regularly. So these are lipsticks that I'm not going to get rid of despite similarities. The only one I want to get rid of is Morange, but until I find a perfect dupe color-wise, it's staying. So all of these at the moment are staying. So before I compare the Uemura ones on my lips off camera, I'm going to go through the rest of this color tone. I don't want to wash off my arm because, again, if these are going to be dupes for any of the stuff that I already swatched and I don't like the formula as much, I'm going to get rid of them. But some of these, again, have really nice formulas. It is what it is. All right, actually, I'm going to save this one for my stain video because this is more of a cream lip stain. This one here is from Bite Beauty and it's in the shade Saffron Fire. Now, I don't really like these Amuse Bouche lipsticks. They feel quite heavy on me and I feel like they're too, I don't want to say too creamy. These, look, this is very similar to all the stuff I have up here. Like around here, so similar. And I don't love this formula. It's quite thick and gluggy on me. You can even see that it sort of looks textured, like, because it's just thick. I'm already going to tell you, even though I love this shade, it is so similar to everything else I have. I'm going to declutter this one. Done. There we go. We've done one for this video. I'm very proud of myself. This is a Pat McGrath Elson 2. I'm going to swatch this around here because it looks like, oh, this is a lot more True Red. I probably shouldn't have swatched this in this category. This is more what I'd consider True Red, so I might put that over there. This is the Bourjois Velvet, the pencil. This is very, very similar to Red Square over down here by NARS, but this is a little bit more pink toned. So I'd say it's a little bit, it's vibrant and it's definitely got orange tones to it, but it looks a little bit more neutral than that one. I love these. I use these quite regularly, so it is what it is. We've got two liquid lipsticks, one from Colourpop and one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. One looks a lot more sort of neon, one looks a little bit more muted. I'm going to swatch them down here next to that MAC liquid lipstick because A, I have space, and B, it's comparing similar formulas. That looks similar to this, but a lot more orange, like a lot more vibrant orange. And this is a satin, actually. It's a satin, ultra satin lip, I should say. This Anastasia Beverly Hills one in Persimmon, I can already tell you it's so similar to those three and I probably don't need it. So I'm going to get rid of Persimmon. I know for a fact that I prefer the MAC formula and I like this satin formula from Colourpop. I hate the ultra mattes, but the ultra satins are quite nice. This is very different. This is probably going to be kept because it's so different. This is by Laneige and it's actually like an ombre lip colour. So you can see that it's got a lip balm and like a lipstick sort of triangle in it. And it's designed to sort of just put the colour on the inner rim and it's beautiful. The lipstick colour is super creamy, super opaque. But then you can mix it with the balm to make either like a cherry sort of stain or, again, that ombre lip. So this is very different. It's very similar in colour to things around it. So definitely that Bourjois one. But the format is so different that it's not comparable. I've got two pretty glossy lipsticks. This is by Alice Farce. This is actually, like, the shade is L401. It's supposed to replicate the color of blood. They've got a range that's, yeah, it's supposed to look like blood on your lips. I'm going to swatch it around here because I feel like these two here have this sort of blood sort of vibe to them. But, oh my God, that is gorgeous. And again, it's like really thin, but really pigmented. It's gorgeous. It actually looks quite similar to that. They were the Hourglass ones, weren't they? But this looks just so much more rich. And again, it looks like a stain. So I think this is in its own ballpark. Lipstick Queen. This is the Rear View Mirror Lip Lacquer in Fast Car Coral. So again, it's a bullet, but it's thin and it's a very, very glossy. And, oh, so pigment. Look at that. Oh my golly gosh. Yeah, color probably can be duped. Finish and vibrancy, because of that glossy finish, cannot be duped, but it's a bit smudgy, isn't it? So it's a bit of a messy one, but it is gorgeous. I love it. Liz Eldridge. This is the Velvet Morning lipstick. It's only Liz Eldridge one I have. I think it's quite similar to the shades up here. So we're talking about Lady Danger sort of stuff. So it's sort of like a dupe for Lady Danger. So I don't probably need them both, but they are both very nice quality. And again, because I do use them fairly often, and I think Lady Danger I'm nearly out of, I'll probably use that as a replacement for Lady Danger. And then when I've used them both, I'll probably just replace Lady Danger because it's cheaper and easier to access in Australia. All right, last three. I've got a liquid lipstick from Inglot. This is the HD Lip Tint Matte in 39. This is gorgeous. Again, this sort of looks neonish on the lips, and it just, I don't know, stands out really beautifully and vibrantly. I really like that effect. YSL, this is really old, and I probably should target it to use up because it's so old. But what I loved about this, it's darker than what I've got going on, but it does have that sort of blood red effect. So I was looking for a blood red lipstick ages and ages ago, and this is the one I came across and I splurged and bought it. So you can see that this one is designed to look like blood, and this one is just like a satin lipstick version of it. It is gorgeous, but I probably should use it up because it's one of my oldest lipsticks I have, and I just don't give it enough love. So I might actually put that in the pan pile, which would be fun to pan a YSL lipstick. Why not? Let's do it. And the last one is a limited edition Milk makeup one. This again, oh, look at this packaging. Look at this packaging. It's crazy, but it's very similar to a lot of these shades. We're looking at Lady Danger kind of area. Very, very similar. Let's just put it up here. So it's more of that vibrant light color rather than the rich orange, but because it's such a beautiful tube, it's such a nice formula, limited edition, it's going to be kept. All right, this might look slightly insane. I look like I've just swatched 4 different colors of lipstick on my arm, but you can see there are different finishes. These blood red ones, I just want to eat them. They look so delicious and so inviting and so amazing. But also these lighter ones that have like almost like a white tone to them that makes them look really vibrant on the lips. They are such a fun summer shade. So I can, these are my people. These are the things that if I want to feel special or just I'm having a bad day, I put these on and it makes me feel better. These are my little rays of sunshine in my makeup collection. So I'm actually not going to get rid of many. I've gotten rid of 2 already, the Bite Beauty and the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I'm going to declutter, no, sorry, I'm not going to declutter. I'm going to project pan the YSL one, and I'm going to lip swatch the Uemura ones to see if I need all 3. But beyond that, all of these are my babies. Like, I'm going to wear these until I die. I had someone in a video recently, I think on a, I don't know if it was a swatch video or something like this, talk about how red lips on older women look tacky. Get fucked. I'm literally going to wear these until I die. I'm going to ask for one of these colors in the grave, and you can just sit on your judgy ass at my funeral and watch me feel fabulous. So this is my thing. All right, prepare to be slightly disappointed in me. I'm going to keep all 3. I did do half lip swatches comparing them. So I compared the matte orange with the amplified orange. This amplified one has a beautiful sort of glossy sheen to it. And this one looks flat matte. So they do look very different and the colors are really beautiful. Then I compared the matte to the matte. So the orange 550 to the orange 570. This one is just more like like, I don't know, it's more pastel tangerine summery kind of look, whereas this one is more rich orangey red, and I feel like I I want them all. Again, I might pan one of these in the future. I think while I'm focusing on YSL, I won't put another red in because I know they take ages to pan, but these go in my handbag. In my intro I was wearing one of these formulas. I wasn't wearing the orange one, I think I was wearing it from the red group, but they're beautiful. I love them. So they're going in my keep container. It is what it is. All right, I've just closed the blinds a little bit so there's less glare here, but these are what I would consider to be the more true reds or neutral reds. They don't really lean super duper pink tone. They don't really lean super duper orange tone. They're sort of smack bang in the middle. And this is what I would consider more of a classic red. So again, lovely category. I find I prefer something a bit brighter in my sort of, I like the brightening effect of the sort of pinky toned or the orange tone shades, but these are classic and these go with a lot of makeup looks. So I've got, again, some MAC. These are mainly limited edition shades. And then I've got Uemura again. I was actually wearing one of these in the intro, so if you want to know what that red was, I think it's this one here. Pat McGrath, Bobbi Brown, Anastasia Beverly Hills Sigma. This is Luna Beauty. I also have Kaleidos, Black Moon Cosmetics, Too Faced, and Hourglass right at the end. So let's swatcheroo these. My arm already has a bit of a pink tinge to it, which is just going to get worse throughout this video. We've got a MAC Patrick Star. This is a holiday collection. It's Sleigh Ride. And it's a matte, so you can see it's just like a dark, beautiful red, but it's not a berry. It's just, it's definitely more raspberry. This could have gone in the sort of cool toned category, but I feel like because it's deeper, it's just sort of, yeah, it's more classic red. This is a Lip Tensity lipstick in Life's Blood. This was a limited edition formula. It's really gorgeous, really pigmented, and really glossy. Like, I'm not sure if you can see, but it is like has a nice gloss to it. Now that I've closed the blinds, you don't see the reflect as much, but it's similar color, just different formula. This is also a Patrick Star one. It's a retro matte liquid lipstick in, I think, Patty, what is it called? Patty Pout. And again, this is like a raspberry. I'm talking about cool tone. This is like a raspberry one, but it's a bit deeper than the other category. But I love the formula of this. It wears so nicely. So that's that. Oh my god, I got so many Patrick Star ones. Mainly because I was sent some from a beautiful subscriber friend from the US. This is Patrick Woo. So it is a matte version of Ruby Woo. Ruby Woo is a retro matte. It's very drying. I think I decluttered it in this series because I love the color, but it's just so hard to get on, especially since it's getting old. This one I kept instead because it's the matte formula, so it's a little bit creamier. Beautiful. So this is a good example of, it is, yeah, it's a cooler toned red. I'll just brighten this a bit. It's a cooler toned red, but it's still like a classic true red. This one from Uemura, the Amplified Red 163 is what I think I was wearing in the intro. I also have Amplified Red 141. Again, these are glossy. This almost has like a blood red sort of vibe to it. It's so gorgeous. Just less orangey as the last ones I swatched in the last row, in the last arm swatch, but similar formula and obviously similar, and it's really beautiful. Now that's just lighter and brighter, a little bit more orange. I could have compared that to the orangey one I had, but I don't want to. I love them all. Pat McGrath, we've got Elson 2, which I added from the last round, and also Forbidden Love. Let's have a look. Elson 2, these are very matte. Ooh, very, very matte. Forbidden Love. Which one's this one? This one's a bit deeper. Whoa, that just is, it just glides on. It's buttery and beautiful. So these are really, really lovely formula. You can see that they are, look, they're matte finish, but they do have some hydration to them, but they're not glossy like these amplified ones, or this one here from MAC. So yeah, really pretty. All right, Bobbi Brown. This is a Luxe Matte Lip Color in Red Carpet. This one actually reminds me a bit of this formula, so I'm going to swatch them side by side. They are very similar. Those two look super similar, so I'm going to set them aside to lip swatch. I also feel like the Sigma Lip Tensity is a little bit like that, maybe a little bit creamier because it's not a matte finish, but it does also have that really sort of really pigmented, really creamy sort of vibe to it, but this is a little bit more cherry coloured, I would say. Again, I'll change the angle so we can see it a bit better, but they are very similar. I'll do the bullets first and then the liquid lipsticks. We got Black Moon Cosmetics. This is Dracula. This formula is gorgeous. This is a satin. It's a really thin formula, but really comfortable and pigmented on the lips. So it just applies beautifully, wears beautifully. Very similar to these vibes over here. So I might put that in that category to do a bit of a lip swatch off. Hourglass. This is their Red Zero. It's supposed to be a true replacement or a true vegan dupe for Carmine. This, you can tell it's not as bright red as some of the others. Well, you might be able to see when we change the angle. It's a little bit more muted, so it looks quite different, but it is a true Carmine colour. And then we got the liquid lipsticks, Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is Serafina. This was actually a beautiful shade. Oh, beautiful. So it looks similar to the Patrick Star liquid lipstick, so I might do those as a comparison. Luna Beauty, this is a liquid lipstick from a holiday collection. It's Aphrodite. This is a glossy one. It stays glossy. It doesn't ever sort of settle down, but it looks, because it's so pigmented, it stays on the lips really, really well. So this is just a very different finish to everything else I've got here. The Kaleidos Lip Tonic. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of these. I think they look beautiful, but they do wear off fairly fast. This is more of a sheer red, as you can see. So it doesn't, it looks more in this cherry category, but it's more of a sheer lip. Very different to what I've got going on, like with the bold lips. I think this, look, I might give this another try and play with this. See if I really like this sort of sheer red in a liquid lipstick formula, because I usually reach for a liquid lipstick when I want something really bold, but this is muted. And I usually go for that in maybe like the Powder Kiss kind of formula. We'll see. Last one is the Too Faced Melted Matte in Cinnamon Bear, I think it is. Yeah, holiday collection. This is a nice true red. And again, it's a liquid lipstick. This one is super bold. And again, I'll have to change the angle because this lighting is crap. Hang on. Hopefully you can see that this is light, a little bit more like raspberry berry, but this one is like a true red. So again, I've got dupes here. I've got some double ups. These are really, really classic shades, really pretty, but I'm going to lip swatch a couple of them. Like, do I need them all? Probably not. All right, we found some dupes. These two are pretty much the same color. I find the Anastasia Beverly Hills one is a little bit thicker on the lips, so it looks a little bit darker, but of course you can either apply it more sheerly to get that color or build up that one a little bit more to get that color. This one's older, it's starting to smell a bit more like paint, and I just like the MAC formula better. So this one is going. All right, on the lips, these are almost identical. I think the Sigma one is a little bit creamier. These are a little bit more matte. The Bobbi Brown one might be a slightly smidge darker, but they're so similar, I don't need them all. I'm actually thinking of giving this one to my mum. I think she likes a red like I do. See, you can be in your 60s and still rock a red. Just putting it out there, judgy person in the comments. Anyway, so I'm going to see if she wants that because it's a really nice lipstick. I would give her Pat McGrath, but you'll see in my past videos and also in, I think the next category, that these matte ones tend to sometimes separate in formula. Now this isn't doing it, it's looking fine, but if you see a white fluff on the outside or a chalky sort of residue, it's because the ingredients sometimes can split. And I don't really want to do that to her, so I'm going to keep this. I'm also going to keep the Sigma one for when this one does that, because I feel like it's on the cards. I know it's going to happen. And if not, I might pan one of these. Now, I really like the Sigma formula, but what annoys the crap out of me about these Sigma ones is that pointed bit there. Like, I love the point because the point shape keeps it, like, keeps a point all the way through, so you can always get a nice crisp application, but that little bit that hangs over the top gets nicked in the tube all the time. So I actually might I might put this in the panning pile and see if I can at least get it down some of the way so it's not an issue every time I take the lid off and on. So keeping this one, panning this one, Bobbi Brown going to my mum, who's currently looking after my kid. Thanks, Mum. All right, we've got these sort of more pinky toned reds. These are more vibrant than the sort of true red category, but they are generally more cool toned. I'm looking at some and I'm like, should they have been in the orange category? Whatever, it is what it is. we're seeing some familiar brands. MAC, Uemura. This one is Tom Ford, Ooh La La, Hourglass, NARS, Bourgeois, and we've seen got some liquid lipsticks there. Now I wanted to do these before the berries because these are going to stain, but at least the berries you should see quite easily over the top. So let's start a swatching. All right, so we've got a MAC Powder Kiss in, this is Lasting Passion. So it is very vibrant. This one, again, it's that sort of sheerer blotted formula, really, really pretty, really comfortable. But you can see it's more of like a strawberry pink. Then we've got Mangrove, which is a matte formula. This could have gone in the neutral, really, because it is sort of neutral, but it's a lot brighter than a lot of the other neutrals I was sort of swatching. This is gorgeous. Huggable lip color in Cherry Glaze. This wears so well. This is, look, this is such an interesting formula. It was limited edition, and I think they should bring it back. Like, it's something that I normally wouldn't reach for. It's a gloss, like a tinted, bright sort of strawberry gloss, but it wears and fades down so nicely and feels so nice on the lips. I'm definitely keeping it. It's the best. This is a Powder Kiss liquid lip color in Max Smash. There we go. So sort of similar to this or this, but just a different sort of silicone-y blotted liquid lip color sort of formula. All right, Uemura, we've got Matte Red 156, which again has that pinky tone to it, really pretty. Similar to the first one, but I feel like the formula's just slightly different. This is one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. I've got backups of this, so I'm keeping it no matter what happens because I've got backups. I love it. This is Yaz Red. This was limited edition by Uemura. And you can see that it's just a little bit more corally. This looks a little bit more pink. This looks like a little bit more corally. I would say this is like a vibrant coral, and it's gorgeous. I love it. It's the most beautiful, bright. If you're not sure what tone to go for, like if you don't want something too pink, something too orange, something too red, this is just like everything mixed together, and it's the most gorgeous ray of sunshine ever. This is Matte Red 144. So these are all the matte formula. This is probably should have been in the orange again. It's a little bit more, it's a little chunk there that's annoying me. It's a little bit more orange than this one, but I don't know. They're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. I love them all. I see the nuances. I wear them all. They go in my handbag regularly. Tom Ford. This is fucking fabulous. I'm not getting rid of this because not only is it a beautiful lipstick, but the name is incredible. Fucking fabulous. Let's just get demonetized for a second there. Oh, super thin, super like luxe. It's not super bold. Like, it's enough pigment there. It's not opaque is what I'm trying to say, but it's this beautiful, vibrant red sort of cherry lip. It's so stunning. I would say it's probably similar to this color here, but just a lot glossier. And I think because of the gloss, it just gives it a more intense kind of finish. We've got Hourglass. What's this one called? This one's My Icon Is. If this wasn't, oh, this probably could have gone in the last category. Again, it's like a raspberry sort of red, a little bit deeper than the other ones I've got going on, but beautiful. All right, pencils. I've actually got two. Dragon Girl by NARS. I love Dragon Girl. It is this beautiful sort of strawberry red. Again, a really fun alternative to just a traditional red. It's quite vibrant on the lips. If you're wearing cooler tone makeup, looks really great. If you're wearing warm tone makeup and you want your lip to clash slightly, looks really great. Very similar color to that one there, that Hourglass one. Just a little bit more, yeah, strawberry and matte and amazing. I love it. I do have a mini version. I could pan one, but I sort of like having one in my handbag. This is like a handbag sort of shade that I keep. So there's that. I've got 3 Bourgeois Velvet the pencils. I probably don't need them all. I've got number 12, 13, and 15. So let's swatch them and see if there's any that I need to get rid of. This one is more of a peachy color. I don't even know why I've got it in this category. I don't know where to put that. That was a weird sort of peachy color. Very different to the others. This is more like Dragon Girl. I probably could get rid of this because I've got 2 Dragon Girls and I know they look almost identical. So, and look, the formulas are like interchangeable. So I probably, yeah, I might declutter that one. So bye-bye. Number 15 is gorgeous. This probably could have gone in the orangey sort of category or the true red category, but it's beautiful. I love it. I'm keeping it. Jeffree Star. I don't like Jeffree Star, and I don't really love this lipstick. It's nice. It's nice and vibrant, but I don't think it's much different to what I've got going on elsewhere. Hey, Bubby. What you doing? Ice cream? You have an ice cream?
We will.
Calippo?
Yeah.
Wow, yum, yum. All right, that is a beautiful colour. It's very similar to the MAC Powder Kiss liquid one. Obviously different formulas, but really pretty. So I understand why I kept it. I want to see if it's similar to this Too Faced Melted Matte in Hot Stuff, because this one is gorgeous. I love it. And I would prefer to keep Too Faced over Jeffree Star. I think it looks very similar. So I might do a swatch off of those two. Hooray, we've got us one swatch off going on. This one by Suva, I feel like is similar to like this sort of colour here. It's like this corally pastel one. It's quite unique. Yeah, it's quite similar. Obviously, very different finish. But I don't know if I've got... Is it similar to that? I might compare it to MAC Mangrove because I feel like those shades are quite similar. And last two, I've got a Kaleidos. This one is quite pink toned from memory, so it's more sort of in that. This is more of a dusty pink. I feel like this is not even something I can compare in this video. It's not red at all. I don't know why I've got it here. What am I doing with my life? Lastly, I've got this YSL matte stain. I don't know if I should... No, I'll put it in this one. It's more of a liquid lipstick than a stain. This is in the shade 1. And again, I feel like this is sort of same kind of vibe as up here. Oh, it's gorgeous though. It's very similar in colour to the Jeffree Star and the Too Faced one, but it's a different formula. It's a really, really lovely formula. It's like thinner and not as sort of dry on the lips. So it is more of a stain feel. So I like this, but I'll keep that and I'll compare those others that I mentioned. All right, so those are the shades there. You can see that they do have that sort of brightness and intensity that the orange toned reds have, but just more of like a strawberry or coral lean to them. Hooray, we found some dupes. So I swatched these side by side and these side by side, and they do look very similar on the lips. These virtually indistinguishable. I historically really like the Melted Matte liquid lipstick formula. Wears really well on me. Jeffree Star is hit and miss in terms of formula. This one's not too bad. I like the scent of it. It's got like a root beer scent, but I don't like Jeffree Star. So I will sacrifice this one for this one. This one's a bit older as well, so this one's a little bit newer. So bye-bye, Jeff. And then when it comes to Suva Beauty and MAC, these are very different formulas. One is... This is like a comfort matte type liquid lipstick, and this is a matte bullet. I prefer using bullets. Now this might look, if I build this up, it looks slightly brighter than the bullet, but I wouldn't want to really build up a liquid lipstick because it can get quite thick and a bit gluggy. So I would just reach for a bullet over a liquid lipstick. So keeping the MAC one, getting rid of Suva. All right, last category. These are the deeper reds. So these are some berries here, some more sort of brick toned deep reds. They're not all berry shades as in like sort of wine colored shades. Some of them are a little bit more orange toned. These are just deeper than what we've seen before, or a little bit more muted. So these, couldn't really call these true reds. They are red tones, but they do have a depth to them, or you'll see. So anyway, I've split these into bullets and liquids. All right, this arm is starting to look ridiculous, so luckily this is the last one. So with Hourglass, I've just got some refills here, so they don't have the big bullets, but they are nice. This is the shade At Night, which is a classic. It's a well-known one. This almost looks brownie toned. Very, very pretty. Can't Live Without is more of berry. Yeah, these could be considered like dark nudes, but when I sort of line them up with dark nudes, they looked too red, so it's hard. These are a hard one. You Inspire is the next one. This is just deeper than the last one. Bit of an adjustment, but you can see that it is similar tone to the last one, just a lot deeper. For Pat McGrath, we've got two. There's Guinevere, which looks like this. Oh, gorgeous. I feel like it's very similar to that last one. Just beautiful color, different finish. And we also have Flesh number 3. Now I know that Flesh number 3 has gone a bit funny. That's what I was talking about that they can do. Again, it's not unsafe to use. It's just a separation of ingredients. It's like chocolate bloom. Just makes it a little bit grosser looking. If this is a similar dupe, or I like this one more, I'm not going to keep them both. This is a lot more brown toned. It's a lot more red toned. I'm going to get rid of it just because it's a bit funky, and I think I would reach for that shade more anyway, but the formula is very lovely. It's still usable. If that happens to you, you can still use it. It just doesn't look the greatest. You can wipe it off if you want, but that can be decluttered. Bourgeois Velvet, the pencils. We've got number 16 and number 11. So 16 is going to be first. So let's go out of order. Why not? Oh, that's beautiful. I love those really vibrant sort of stain looking shades. I love them. They wear so well. They're really, really punchy, but it's almost like the last round that I swatched those strawberry reds, but just a lot richer in color. Oh, it's beautiful. This one is red vintage, so I think it's going to be more like these kind of colors here. Let's have a look. Yeah, again, this is probably a nude. Why is it called red? Why do I have it here? Black Moon Cosmetics. This is Elm Street. It's a beautiful dark red. Definitely more wine tone than what we've seen before. Maybe similar to this one here, but just a little bit deeper, a little bit black and cherry. NARS, this is Janine. What does Janine look like? You're gorgeous, Janine. Go, you good thing. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that one, like, it's a berry, but it's more red tone, so I'll probably swatch it compared to Pat McGrath. You might see when I change angles that they do look very similar in color, but the finish is different. One is a lot shinier, one is a lot more matte, but I think the effect on the lips will be quite similar, but I might swatch them side by side. We've got MAC Diva. This is a classic. Now, I don't wear this too often. It's definitely more purple than the others I've tried. It's very similar to, again, that Hourglass one, but that's a lot shinier. That's a matte finish. I've just changed the lighting a little bit. It actually looks quite similar to that one there, so I might compare those two. Nabla. Which one's this one? Nolita. I loved these. This is more brown tone. This is a nude. What am I doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. But I'll keep you anyway because you're beautiful. And Bobbi Brown Burnt Cherry. Let's see what this one's. I think this one is pretty cool as well. Let's have a look. This one's more purple tone. So it's definitely a berry, but it doesn't really match the others because it's got a lot more purple raspberry tone. The tone is probably most similar to that Bourgeois one there, but just a lot deeper in color. Pretty. All right, liquid lip time. We've got Bobbi Brown. This is a Luxe Liquid Lip High Shine in Wild Orchid. This formula is super glossy and stays super glossy, but lasts really well. Like, it fades down really nicely. It doesn't look too... Oh, it looks like it needs to be mixed. Give you a bit of a mix. It's super glossy, and it looks like it would smear and smudge everywhere, which I think, you know, when you first put it on, it might. But it just wears down like a beautiful stain. So it's similar to this sort of color, but just it's such a different finish that you can't really call them dupes. They're color dupes, but in terms of finish, there's such a different effect on the lips. Kaleidos, we've got Smeared Rouge. Let's do them down here. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous. You can see that it's got a sheerness to it, that if you apply it very thinly, it looks more vibrant. But then if you build it up, it has this blood red, like dried blood red, clotted blood red effect, which I don't think you can mimic. It's kind of similar to that color, but I just feel like the finish is makes it so different. Oh, I love that color. Yes, that's a clotted blood if I've ever seen it, and I love it. This is Rubino. These are Cloud Lab lip clays, by the way. This one's a little bit more brown toned. Looks a little bit more similar to those ones up there, but again, quite a different finish. And this one's Dahlia, which I think is just a bit lighter. So it doesn't look as dark on the lips as this one here, but it's the same kind of blood. I'd say this is more fresh blood, this is more clotted blood, and this is more dried blood. I love a bloody lip, so it is what it is. I might swatch those side by side on my lips though to see, do I need all three? All right, we've got a couple from Nabla. These are the Dreamy Creamy. Oh, I love the Dreamy Creamies. They're such a lovely formula. Again, sort of similar to this one. That's a really high shine lacquer. These are creamy. They stay creamy, but they last really well on the lips. And if they start to wear off a little bit, you just purse your lips together and they just redisperse and just wear all day. They're beautiful. I've got the shades Mood for Love and Vicious. So let's see if we're in the mood for love. I don't know if that was off camera or not, but you can see that they're a lot thicker. These you do need to either blot down or apply them very, very thinly because they are super creamy and quite thick. Now, I think these do look similar to other things. Mood for Love looks similar to that first one from Hourglass, and this one here looks like these sort of colours there. So maybe I'll compare this to that Pat McGrath one, and I might compare those two. I know that this is going to look so different on the lips to the Hourglass one, so, you know, I can probably have them both, but I'll compare them anyway. All right, we're getting to the end. We've got a Ciate one. This is a heat flip one, so it changes colour. It goes on very dark and then turns bright red. So this one you can't really compare to anything. Yes, I can sort of compare colour in terms of what does this look like swatched, but the colour change element makes it so different to anything else here. So I'm going to keep that and put that aside. Super Beauty, we got the shade Besharam, and this is beautiful. This is, again, like this dark, oh, the lid's broken. No, there we go. It's like this dark sort of cherry colour, but it's so sheer that it gives you a vibrancy that I love. Looks very similar to that one, so I might compare those two. Dealer liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Rubino. Didn't we have another Rubino in here? I'm not sure. Beautiful shade. That looks like it could be a dupe for a few. I might compare it to something. I feel like that needs to be compared to something. And lastly, the YSL. This is the matte lip stain in the shade 15. So yeah, this is similar to that red one we had in the last category, but this is way more purple than anything else here. Again, the lighting is killing me, so we're going to change angles and have a quick look. Whoops, I forgot one. This is by Terry. It's the Lip Expert Matte in the shade 7. I won't say the name. You can read it in the description box if you want. It does contain a racial slur. It's not good. Don't use that word in names, brands. But this is a beautiful color as well. So this is a little bit more brown toned, whereas that last one was a little bit more purple toned. Again, you can't see jack shit because of the lighting, so I will change angle. All right, so By Terry was here, and that was YSL. So you can see one is a lot more purple, one is a lot like reddy brown, but these are all the colors. So these are a lot richer than the other shades we've shown. These are all red still, but super, super like rich, berry, gorgeous reds. You can see the different effects of them. Some, well, that one's going to be drying down, but some are shinier. That one's super glossy. These ones here stay glossy. They're creamy, so they're thicker formula, but they're really pretty. These ones are more of a satin lipstick. So again, they have a bit of moisture to them, but they're not as glossy as these ones. I'm going to pick a few out to compare, and we will see which ones we keep. All right, I've been doing some half lip swatching, so comparing shades and finishes and all that jazz. I'm going to talk about these three first because they do look different on the hand, but they look surprisingly similar on the lips. I would say that these two, like this one has that blackened, that's the one that I said if you build up it sort of looks blackened. When you sort of press your lips together and settle that in, it looks a lot like this one. And then if you build it up, it looks a lot like that one. So I feel like I'm going to get rid of that middle one, which was, I think, this one here, Smeared Rouge, because I just feel like on the lips it's so similar to the other two. But if I want something a little bit lighter, I've got this one. If I want something a little bit richer, but this one's a little bit more brown toned as well. And I just think it's a smidge more flattering, but it looks so similar. Yeah, those are the two that I'm definitely keeping. And Smoked Rouge, it's beautiful, but it's very redundant. All right, down here I've got two very beautiful colored deep liquid lipsticks that do look virtually identical on the lips. Now, I actually think I prefer the formula of By Terry, but I also like how mini this is. It's a color I don't use too often, so I don't need a huge one. And this one does have an unfortunate name, so this one's going to go, and I'm going to keep the Steeler one. The Hourglass and Nabla, look, it's hard comparing a bullet to a liquid lipstick. They look very different on the lips. This is a lot thicker, this is a lot thinner in formula. This one's a little bit brighter, that's a little bit more dull, but I like them both, so I'm keeping them both. Black Moon and MAC. So this one's a hard one because they look very similar to Diva. Diva is a little bit brighter and Black Moon Cosmetics is a little bit more blackened. I can see myself using Diva and like blotting it down to like a deep sort of raspberry shade, whereas building this up to more of a blackened cherry. I think there's room for both of them. I don't use this color often. If I'm going to get rid of one, it's probably MAC because it's older and I can back to MAC it. Do I do that? Do I do that? Yeah, bugger it. I'm going to do that because this is, I've had Diva for a very long time and I barely use it. And the Black Moon Cosmetics one I only got in the last year or so. So it's fresher, it's newer, back to Mac. These ones were surprisingly super duper similar. So this is the Guinevere from Pat McGrath. We've got Janine from NARS and Nabla. This is Vicious from Nabla. These, the colors are virtually identical. Again, this is a glossy formula. It's very, very shiny. It's very creamy on the lips. This is very matte and this is sort of like in between. Now, I don't need to keep all of these because they do look virtually identical on the lips, just slightly different finishes. I think I'm going to use this one the least in terms of finish. This is probably the oldest as well, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Last two, I'm keeping them both. This is the Suva Beauty and the Bourjois Velvet the Pencil. Similar colors, but very, very different finishes. This is more of a bold pencil that has a really strong matte finish. This is more like a sheer blotted matte stain effect. It's really pretty. They give a different effect on the lips. This looks a little bit more vibrant. I love the color. I'm keeping them both. All right, we've finally made it. We've finally made it to the finishing line. Now these are effectively the majority of the reds I have in my collection. There are some in handbags, there are some in drawers, there are some elsewhere, there are some backups, but this is the vast majority of it. So I'm keeping all of these. It's a lot, but I love red. It is what it is. I'm getting rid of 12 and I'm going to try to pan 2 next year. So that is the plan. I'm cool with that. I think that's a nice split. Everything I've gotten rid of, I think there's a reason for it, and I have something else that I know I can reach for that I will like more, or just as much. So I'm happy with that. So 12 new additional declutters from this video, and that is, yeah, the vast majority of my red lip collection for people that were curious. All right, so I'll be back next time, or probably in a few weeks, with my next one of these, which is going to be stains, and I'm going to conclude like a total of how many lipsticks I've decluttered in this whole series from the start of 2021 through to the end of this swatch off. So if you're interested in that, it'll be coming in a couple of weeks. So I'll see you then. Bye.